got a manager that we had for a year. We fired him. He tried to take over our channel.
He tried to take over your YouTube channel?
It's a crazy ride and it's a fun one. It's a lot of work sometimes, but it's also fun. When I heard about that, it was like the angels sang, the clouds parted. So when we actually got one, this was a psychological boost.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Creators Uncut, the show about YouTube, the business side of it, and all of the great advice that YouTubers have. Today I'm joined by Janet Thaeler from Clean Freak and Germaphobe. Janet, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Yeah. So usually what we like to do is we like to have our viewers get to know the guests a little bit. So maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, maybe what you like to do for fun, and kind of what your channel is about.
Sure. I live in Utah, just like you. We found out we're both in Utah. There's such a great community
Yeah.
of YouTubers in Utah. I think it's because we were bloggers. I was a blogger for a long time, a business blogger first. And then I did mattress reviews and blogged about mattresses and sleep. One of my favorite topics is sleep. It's so important to our mental health. It's so important to our physical health. It's the foundation of everything. And getting the right mattress really changed my life. And that's what kind of led me to that. I've been an affiliate marketer, a digital marketer for, over 15 years. I've worked at startups, agencies, all sorts of things. The way that this kind of came about is I'm married to a clean freak, and he's so OCD. I was like, I'm not going to spend my life trying to keep up with this. I've got to find a better, faster, easier way to clean. And I like technology. I've been in tech startups and things. So I want to use technology in cleaning. So that was my huge motivation. And I really enjoy the emotional hit you get when things are clean and the satisfaction you get
Mm-hmm.
when something transforms. That's what's in it for me, the emotional hit of it. I'm also challenged by trying to find the best ways to do things and experiment and test things. And so it's been fun to have that platform to do it and to hopefully inspire people to try new things and ways to clean faster and have a cleaner space.
Yeah. Gotcha. That makes sense. I totally agree about a clean room. Like, I love the feeling when something is clean. I also like those videos. I can't name anyone off the top of my head, but where it's like a hoarder house or something, and then they completely transform it. Those are super satisfying. So
Yes.
I totally understand. Quick question about your digital marketing. So did you go to school for that, or did you just find that as a passion?
I went to school for conservation biology, and I was
Oh.
into environmental science and botany in particular. And, there weren't a lot of jobs. And instead, I took a job answering the phones at a startup that did websites for VW, Volkswagen, and other
Hmm.
big companies. And as I was answering the phones, I taught myself HTML and website stuff. And
Oh, nice.
I just, from there, I decided that's what I want to do. And I decided to start a blog about it because I was just learning it, and I'm self-taught. And so I was sharing what I was learning with other people, really for my own benefit, because there is a search bar in my blog and I could search things I learned. And I'm very much an experimenter. So even with that, I would learn about things and try them in real life and then keep doing that with affiliate marketing and different things and see if it works. And that's how I kind of taught myself. And then I wanted to be a programmer, do programming. It's kind of hard. I wouldn't say I was ever a programmer. I realized that a lot of people are faster and better than I am at it. And so
Hmm.
I heard about online marketing and search engine marketing, and I'm older. So like it blew me away. I was like, wait, you have to market a website. You don't just build a website. That was mind blowing. My really good friend at the time, we just bought ebooks and we just learned and talked about it and totally loved it. And that when I heard about that, it was like the angels sang, the clouds parted. It was like my calling. I loved it so much. I can't say I'm the best in the world at it, but I have so much passion for it. And that's really what's always driven me, because I love being a mom. I have two kids, and I love having freedom. I love passive income. I love making money while I sleep. Sleep's so good for you. And if I make money doing it, that's the best in the
Yeah.
world. So yeah, that was very luring. Plus, when I was working for other people, I got small raises, and They
Hmm.
controlled that, and I made 1 year. I'll talk about. I made our channel made over almost 400% more than the year before. My tax guy actually like contacted me and said, "Was this a mistake?" It wasn't. We just focused and invested in
Wow.
our channel that year, and it paid back in a big way. And it's so thrilling and exciting to see that kind of growth. It's what fuels me. I always say money's my love language, and I love getting paid. Just pay me, and I'm like, thank you, I love it. Like giving me money, I love it. It's not more important than people. I have to distinguish that. I don't worship money, and
Hmm.
I will do it ethically, but I love getting paid and I love making money. It's so fun and it's another fulfilling thing. So
Yeah, that's awesome. So, was Clean Freak and Germaphobe your one and only channel that you've done, or have you worked on other YouTube channels before this?
I have a
Or
mattress review channel called Unbox Mattress where I have a
okay.
studio that I rent and I did reviews for those, but I got kind of tired of how heavy they are to lift. I had to get them up to
That
the
makes
third
sense.
floor, the fourth floor, and in an elevator and all that packing and moving heavy things. And it was doing really, really well for a while. Not my YouTube. I was more focused on my website and the sales. But
Hmm.
I make, a few $100s a month on that channel. It's never grown. It's not the same because reviews aren't like people go to buy a mattress, they look at a review. They don't usually come back and watch every video. And
Right.
it's not
Yeah.
as conducive to storytelling, which I really love. And
Hmm.
so, anyway, as this took off, I put less and less into, Unbox Mattress anyway, but it wasn't compelling enough for me to do a channel over, so I just kind of did
Yeah.
it more casually.
Gotcha.
I actually love to write. I actually, started YouTube because bloggers that I knew, the only people that were making money had massive amounts of traffic. I have friends who are making millions, right? But I was
Hmm.
never able to get that kind of traffic, and the ads pay so little. But on YouTube,
Hmm.
you don't have to click on my affiliate link for me to make money and actually buy, leave YouTube to buy something. I don't have to have massive quantities of people to make money at it. And so I just thought, it's also more intimate. And so I decided I've got to get better at video because I was terrified. I thought everyone was going to say, you're fat, you're ugly. Because someone did say in the beginning, I never forgot, they said, you would get more subscribers if you guys would clean within bikinis.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, that's not the kind of
Wow.
channel that we're running here.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, I was like, I'm going to show him, kind of funny comment.
Yeah. YouTube comments are crazy sometimes. So I know a lot of people script out their videos. Some YouTubers just kind of go with the flow. So do you write for every video?
I do research for most of them. Some of them I don't need to because it's just my experience. So my Dyson vacuum cleaner, that's like a $500 vacuum cleaner, the battery went out and they don't make a battery for that one anymore. And so I bought one on
Mm,
Temu, I think, or it was Amazon. And, I want to do a video about that still to show that I could use a 30 or $40 battery instead of the $300 one that Dyson sells, but they don't even sell anymore. And I tested already, and I want to make a video about that. And I'm not going to script that out a lot.
hmm.
There's key elements I want to include that I sometimes forget that I'd like to have an outline. But other ones I've researched extensively of all the methods that I want to try, all the ingredients that I need, key facts or things that I want to include. But I found if I read it in a teleprompter, it really isn't that authentic and it's kind of boring.
Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
Diana's way better at that than I am. And so I often do not script. And if brands ask me to script things, I'm like, well, it just never works as well for me. I need to like be into it, and it's hard for me to just try to read and have the energy and the passion come through if I'm reading something and trying to focus on the words as they're scrolling.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. Telepromptering is a skill. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a video editor. That's like my main job. And one
Okay.
of the clients that I do videos for is they have a scripted show, and they've gotten really good at making telepromptering entertaining. And it's definitely a skill that's something you have to learn. I definitely couldn't do it. So I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, your channel is fairly large, and so I'm wondering what did you do, if there was anything specific to grow your channel to where it is now? Did you feel like you did something different from other YouTubers, or did you kind of follow what everyone kind of does, or what was your, I guess, secret ingredient to growing your YouTube channel?
So first of all, I remember when we were making $50 a month, and it was like, oh, that's cute, you know. I remember Diana's husband saying, "You don't even make minimum wage. You guys are wasting your time." And I knew I was like, "Ha ha, just wait." I knew that it would grow and make more money. That's how things work over time.
Hmm.
So you have to put in the work up front and be consistent in getting content and trying to do better and learning. And that is we just started out reviewing all sorts of things, and that was just practice. And at some point, we decided to focus in on cleaning, and we knew there was money there.
Hmm.
There's a lot of niches that don't pay very well, and nobody really cares about.
Right.
And so I think that's really important. I don't think that's a huge secret, but it's hard to do.
Hmm.
It's a lot easier to do it. In my other channel, not having a business partner, it's hard to be consistent and keep doing it when nobody cares, right? So you have to have that drive. And cleaning was compelling enough to me, to do those videos that that I could keep doing it for. We're now on over 7 years.
Hmm.
We weren't a cleaning channel the whole time, but that's the thing. I think that if you keep putting in the effort and you keep improving over time, some people faster than others, you make progress, you learn a lot, but we did invest a lot of money and time into it too. Not in the beginning. In the beginning, it was
Yeah.
just learning how to use a microphone, how to use a camera, how to you know,
Hmm.
talk on camera, all those skills, and they just seemed to come bit by bit. But what really accelerated our growth was getting a manager, that we had regular meetings with, we checked in with, and also taking Daryl Eve's course. He has it's pretty
Hmm.
expensive. I think when we took it, it was 4 or 5 thousand. I think it's gone up,
Oh, wow.
but that was also like a college course on YouTube. It would be way too intense if
Hmm.
you're a beginner. In fact, even it was a little too intense in the beginning. But there's so much to learn, and he keeps up on it. And there's people that out there making videos about how to do YouTube, and it's free. And that's where I would start in the beginning. But yeah, we definitely invested time and money and learned the skills and made a lot of changes. One thing also is getting an editor.
Yeah.
That just helped a lot because the editor could offload that. We could focus more on the content, and we had to learn to help the editor, read our style and, work together
Hmm.
with that editor. But we had an editor for a couple of years, our favorite one. And so that really helped our growth too.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't know that you had a video editor. That's cool.
Yeah, in the Philippines.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. So I like how you mentioned that you didn't quite put as much time and investment at the beginning. I definitely think it's easier once you start to see a little bit more success as you go on. It becomes more like exciting, I guess. And so it becomes easier to put more and more time and effort into it.
Right.
So,
I mean, when you don't have
um,
comments and people are like, "Answer every comment," but we don't have any comments, and I
yeah.
wanted to try things, but some features on YouTube only get unlocked when you get a certain size. So it's just
Hmm.
step by step building it, and it's so exciting when you reach those milestones and you can start doing those things. There's a lot of things I haven't done still too that I wanna do, but yeah, it's a crazy ride, and it's a fun one. It's a lot of work sometimes, but it's also fun.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask, you mentioned briefly having a YouTube manager. I've never actually met anyone who's had a YouTube manager, at least the YouTubers that I've talked to. So, how did you know when to get a YouTube manager? Was it part of the Daryl Eves course?
No, no. I
Oh.
think having the regular meetings that they had, so he gave a lesson, he unlocked a video, and then you had, a Discord group. I think it's changed right now, but anyway, you have that talk, and they talking back and forth and meeting other YouTubers. I went to conferences and things like that.
Mhm.
But the reason I wanted a manager is because I find coaching keeps you accountable and keeps you, high
Mm.
level and thinking about strategically, and also learning strategies and trying them with that support. And so we we've got a manager that we had for a year. We fired him. He tried to take over our channel, and part of his role was to get us products and also get us sponsors, and he didn't get one in a whole year. I used to do that, and I got lots of products for free, and at that point, that's what we were looking for, and, I got some sponsors, and we didn't get any with him. He did help us get more
Mhm.
organized and get into a good habits, but, that was a crazy experience, but we got another
Wait, wait, wait. So, if you don't mind me asking, he tried to take over your YouTube channel? How did that happen?
Yeah, so we had him as a manager and everything on the channel, right? And, um,
Mhm.
we had been talking about getting an operating agreement, getting our LLC and everything, and so I had gone on
Mhm.
to the website where the documents when I uploaded our LLC, our paperwork, it wasn't an LLC, and I
Mhm.
kept talking to him about filing that LLC paperwork, and he just didn't do it. It wasn't going anywhere, and one day I logged in and I saw that there was
Mhm.
LLC paperwork,
Oh.
and he had written his name in it. He
Oh.
was a ma owner of the channel according to that, and I was furious,
Mhm.
and he also tried to have us sign away 20% of our whole channel, which is crazy because he didn't deserve 20%, and
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed with his work as far as, like, following up on things, and it was almost like he became a slave driver. He wanted us to work harder and harder and harder. It got more and more stressful, but
Mhm.
once I found that evidence, then I was like, "That is it. We gotta get rid of this guy. He's,
Mhm.
he should have been honest and said, 'I wanna put myself in the LLC,' and, like, we have to approve it, right? You can't just add yourself in and add the paperwork."
Right.
That was a
That's
crazy,
crazy.
crazy discovery. I was very shocked.
So, after that experience, you got another YouTube manager, right?
Yeah.
Was it harder to get another YouTube manager after that? Were you a lot more cautious, or did you do, like, a full background check, or
No, because this guy didn't want a percentage, he worked differently. And
Oh,
my
gotcha.
advice would be, like, don't get a manager, get a coach.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the manager will, like, handle all these things for you. I know there are people like, Cara Loren, I think she's a lifestyle blogger or a lifestyle, influencer, and I asked her, she actually, her sister lived next door to me, and one time she was visiting,
Mm,
and it was kind of obnoxious. I felt kind of obnoxious asking her, but I actually like said, "Hey, I'm just curious about managers. Do you have a manager?" Because she's huge, right? And I don't want to
mhm,
interrupt her privacy, but she did answer that question that she did, and they were based in New York City. They were an agency that handled all of her brand deals and everything, and the volume she was doing that made sense. But for
mhm.
a lot of people, it doesn't. And they were legit, like, with employees and, office and everything. But no, I wasn't scared because, we went to flat fees. We didn't do percentage of everything.
Oh, gotcha.
Um, and so we just paid per month, and first, every week we had a session with him, and then we applied what he taught us, and then came back the next week. And so, no, I had a good reputation. I didn't feel like anything, but today, I would get a coach, and it's kinda similar. He was kind of more of a coach style, and that's what I think is important.
Mhm.
He even said, "I don't wanna become a slave driver. I don't want the incentive to try to push you so I make more money," that he could just
Yeah,
he knew how much he was gonna make, so, and I think we had him for about a year also.
yeah. So you'd recommend a coach, someone who maybe, like, holds you accountable, but not someone who handles all of the brand deals? You kinda handle all the brand deals yourself?
Yeah, I mean, there are people I know that, train someone to get brand deals for them, and they pay that
Mhm,
person a percentage plus a hourly rate. So they have a pitching rate where they pay them to pitch. So, like, maybe it's 10 or I don't know how much it is an hour, $20 an hour, $10 an hour, somewhere on there.
mhm.
And then on top of it, when they land a brand deal, if she does it, then she also pays her a percentage of that brand deal. And so they have both, a hybrid model, but she only focuses on brand deals.
Gotcha.
I think that with a coach or a manager, we should focus on direction, strategy, improving the content,
Mm,
organizing things, and getting it in a habit of, like, we didn't ever have we had meetings, but they were kind of sloppy. But after we had these these guys, we would like meet every single week for an hour or two, go over what's working, what's not working, what we want to focus on, new things we've heard in the industry or saw that YouTube's doing that we want to incorporate. And that didn't happen so much in the beginning. We were just, what should we make a video about and writing the script. And now we were like, okay, what are you working on? What's your video for the week? And helping, being more up kind of overview and being the CEO of our business more.
Cool. Well, that is great insight. Again, like I mentioned, I haven't talked to any YouTubers that have had a manager. So I think our viewers and listeners will find that very helpful to them.
I wish
Kind of
someone had
know
told me.
what to look
I
for.
really
Yeah.
wanted to. I wish I didn't go into it so blindly. I thought what he was
Yeah.
doing was normal. I didn't know. It took me a while
Hmm.
to go, huh. Um, but I am glad for what we learned from that.
Yeah. So in those meetings, is that kind of where you came up with ideas for your videos, or how did you kind of decide what videos to make and what videos not to make?
Yeah, so, one thing is looking at what YouTube already values in your niche, and doing your version of it. So in ours, it was clean with me's were huge, and so cleaning the house
Hmm.
and, like, people can clean while they watch, put on it has music and sometimes some talking, but mostly it's cleaning and music. We could see that that was getting a lot of views, and so we're like, "Oh, we need to clean with me's," and the style of thumbnail that they use, the kind of what was really working, and kind of piggybacking off the success because even having a similar title and thumbnail to something that's been really, really successful, can help you because YouTube will often suggest it, along with that
Hmm.
video. And so, that was really interesting. I tried that a few times and it worked really well. I also like doing original content and reviews of products that I really love and the things my burning questions. But I think that that's a strategy that Daryl has I think Daryl taught us and also we would look at things and see what's doing well. We'd look at trends, and
Yeah.
that's basically telling you this is what viewers want in your niche. They really love this. Like you said, the hoarder level cleaning is really popular. It's super time
Hmm.
consuming and expensive. And that's not something I could handle doing a lot of.
Yeah.
It was
That makes
the
sense.
smells and it's just overwhelming. But there's a lot of money in it, and there's a lot of interest in it, and people are watching it. But of course, there's competitors that are coming in all the time. But Daryl taught you how to research, and we would just like look at what's doing well, and also, like I said, new features like when YouTube started like letting you tag products in your videos and making a commission and
Mm,
having it all be into YouTube, so I didn't have to go apply for Target's affiliate program and Walmart's affiliate program and Amazon's, well, Amazon isn't in there, right? I don't think it is, no. But you could tag and it would show you your percent that you made. And so you can choose and find all these products from different retailers and tag them. And you don't have to like go up and sign for a program, find the link. I mean, it just saves so much time. That was like my favorite
yeah.
YouTube invention, that came out with that. It was like a dream come true, but nobody was talking about it. Even all the big guys when it first came out, all the people that are talking about how to YouTube didn't talk about it. And I was like, what is going on? This is like revolutionary. And so we make money that way. And I'm always looking for new revenue streams. That's another thing that I would talk about with Diana is like how can I've heard of, some and our manager did this too, some there's this new thing that you should try, and so we
Hmm.
would and or we discuss do we want to do that and that having more income streams is really important. And I really
Yeah.
yeah, that was something I would tell people to always look for ways to make money, not just from YouTube ads.
Yeah. So I'm curious about the affiliate thing. So is that just like in YouTube Studio, you can just like browse products?
So while you're uploading your video, you can tag products that show in your video
Hmm.
in the back
So
as you're uploading.
so do you like buy the product ahead of time, or do you like, so that's when you upload the video, that's when
Yeah,
you
so,
add
like,
the
if
product?
we're vacuuming with the Dyson and we
Hmm.
know which Dyson we have, I had
Oh,
a handheld
gotcha.
Dyson, I had a stick butt Dyson, I had my favorite Black& Decker handheld vacuums, whatever, Timeco or
Yeah.
Tineco, however you say it, like, vacuum mops are my favorite thing ever, and we reviewed like tons of them. So they're not all always all there, but like we can usually tag the Tinaco. We can always find that and tag that. We can tag whatever we're using in the video that we already have, or if it's like what cleaning products are you using for your for anything like the steam cleaner we use. We're going to tag that. If we're using Barkeeper's Friend, which is a great cleaner for different purposes, it's sold everywhere, and so we can just tag it.
Mhm.
But yeah, anything that's in your video that you're highlighting, um, then tag it if you can. What like when it came to the Dyson battery, I may not find that in YouTube. I mean, that's pretty obscure and specific. So now
Right.
when I put it in the description and having done it myself, it's very important that you get the right one. And I know about the batteries now. Like you want to get the one that comes with the little screws because if you lose those, you're screwed. So, those little
Yeah.
things, but yeah, there's a lot of if you have things in your video that are, at any store, a Swiffer, for
Mhm.
example, they're at all sorts of stores. So I could pick from, Lowe's, Home Depot has them, Target has them, so many different brands have them. I can see what they offer. I can tag it right there. And then when I upload it, it previews that when I'm talking about that product. Even
Gotcha.
the oven cleaner I'm using, Easy Off, right? Easy Off fume free, this
Mhm.
exact one. And they don't have to go and look in the description, and they have a little picture of it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's a great feature, it sounds like. So, I've never done affiliate marketing, so I was just curious.
It's the easiest way to do it. It's kind of a lot of learning curve for people. I've been doing it a long time, but that's just all you need to do is learn how to tag the products, and you have to qualify. You have to have
Mhm.
your watch hours and everything to be monetized and everything. You have to have so many, you have to like unlock that feature. But once you do, it's the best.
Yeah. Switching gears back to more on the, I guess, YouTube side of things, was there a moment in your YouTube channel or a milestone or a video where you're like, oh yeah, we finally made it?
This I remember one of our managers saying, like, "You're gonna get a silver play button." And we were both like, "Are you
Hmm.
sure? We don't believe it." Like, that seems so far away and impossible. So when we actually got one, this was just like a big, psychological boost.
Hmm.
So that to me was like, we actually did it. And we filmed a video about it. We never posted it, but we were so excited to
Oh
get
yeah.
that. And I love that YouTube does that. It's like that
Hmm.
milestone you reach and you're like, wow. But for me, because I love money, it was when we started making enough that we could make we made a full-time living, and we started making more
Yeah.
money. And that was so exciting. And I think that was the most crazy thing. I never thought that would happen either. I really didn't believe that I could make the most I've ever made in my whole life on YouTube, and that was the me and her, so I was making, not the whole amount.
Yeah.
So she quit her job, and, I had done that a long time ago, and so that was really fun, and that's like, "Oh, wow. We're actually making good money. This is fun."
Yeah. So, do you know how long it was from when you started your channel to when you got that silver play button?
I think it was 3 or 4 years.
Do you think it was like Uh, did it escalate a lot in that like last year before you got the play button or
I was like, "We're gonna invest and we're gonna, like, really" like, we had never really put money into making videos besides our editor, so we started experimenting and doing things. Some of it worked, some of it didn't, but the things that worked
Mhm.
really well. We diversified our income a lot with, adding Amazon influencers, which was new and was crazy successful. Yeah, so we were always looking for ways to expand and innovate. And we started putting, like we did this series and we paid cleaners to help us. And that was like a
Mhm.
new thing. I experimented with different things. So it was, yeah, that was like a huge turning point. It was scary to do, to put that much money into it.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Beast is like the extreme opposite, right? He invested back so much into his business, back into YouTube's or his videos again and again and again, and look where he's at.
Mhm.
We were very cautious about that. It took a while to do that, but that really was important in our growth, is to actually buy products to review.
Mhm.
Sometimes I like that because the brand isn't telling you what to do, and some
Right.
people are like, "We want an 8-minute video on the sponge." Well, I don't think I'm that entertaining that I can talk about your product for 8 minutes. That's a long video. It's much better if I incorporate it into what we're doing and talk about it in other ways, but yeah, we had bought some of our own vacuum mops. We also had brands send us vacuum mops. I think, like I said, I think we've reviewed 7 or 8 different kinds, different ones, and it's fun to see the innovation and
Mhm.
things, but yeah, I think that was a big turning point where we started to take those risks and invest. We invested first to learn, then we started investing in the actual, making videos and doing things that costs that we invested more into.
Yeah. I do think it's important to note that it is important to invest, but not everyone can be a Mr. Beast. Like, not everyone can invest 100% of the money back into it because, at some point, hopefully YouTube is your full-time job and you got to be cautious. And I think that you guys went about it very smart by investing a little bit, and I think it paid off. Yeah, so I've got one final question for you to kind of wrap things up. And we ask this to all of our guests on the show, but it's all about like YouTube myth busting. So, is there anything about the YouTube platform that you experienced as a YouTuber that you think is true or false? Um, like for example, some people say quantity over quality when it comes to videos. Some people say quality over quantity. Um, Subscribers isn't the most important metric to view a channel. Is there anything like that that you think is true or false about YouTube from your experience?
Yeah, I don't think just making videos is gonna make you money.
Oh yeah.
You have to be strategic about it. There's so much competition. There's so much more than when we started. There's always more competition, and the quality that you're competing against keeps going up. And some people, I don't know if you've seen this in comments, are like, "Just keep going, you'll get there." To a certain degree, that's in the beginning, that might be true, that you just need to keep
Hmm.
practicing and doing it. But at a certain point, if you're not growing, growth is life. Like, I cannot do something that doesn't grow. It is depressing to me. If I'm gonna put my heart and soul and try to learn something, it's gotta grow. So at a certain point, if it's growing, it's not just that's what you need. You can't just keep making videos if it's not working and you're not making more money and your channel's not growing. Don't encourage. I hate it when people I see that, like, just keep going. And I'm like, it's obvious you've been doing regular videos for 2 years now and you kind of still flatlined, there is something wrong. Fix it or get out of YouTube. Like, what a waste of your time. I cannot abide that. It just really bothers me as my personality. I don't understand how people keep
Hmm.
trying when it's not working. If it's not working, either
Yeah.
get out or learn to grow because growth is the funnest part of it. Why would you do it if you're I've seen people that have been doing YouTube forever and they might have different goals than me. They may not care about money. That's okay. They can do it
Hmm.
for lots of different reasons. But if you care about money and you're not making it, something is wrong. It's not like you don't need a cheerleader and people to say, you can do it. Just believe in yourself. No, you need more knowledge. You need more skills. You need to change.
That's great. I think that's great advice. So, is there any other advice that you would give to our viewers or listeners?
I kind of hit on it already. We did niche down, and in the beginning we went really broad because again I was just trying to learn this whole thing. This is a new thing.
Hmm.
But what our number one video was for a long time that was making us the most money was how to clean a pee off a mattress.
Hmm.
I was reviewing mattresses. That is something that, like, mattresses are expensive, right? And nobody wants to see a big
Hmm.
pee stain on it. And that happens a lot. If you have little kids that wet the bed, their pets, people's pets, whatever. That was a clue to the new niche is because I had an interest in cleaning because I wanted to do it better, and I like having things clean, but I wasn't bad at cleaning, I just wanted to get better at it. So it compelled me, and also it had some money in it. But yeah, that was a clue, is that our number one video was how to clean a mattress, and we're like, since that's our number one video, maybe we should niche down, and we rebranded completely. We used to be called Two Moms Review, just these two moms reviewing random stuff.
Mm,
Was fun. We got our kids and we did all sorts of different things. But once we niched down and found a niche that like we focused on cleaning, that was a big turning point. So, what is really doing well on your channel if you don't have a good focus? Is that something that can grow? Is that something that has a good size audience? Is that something you want to do? I
mhm,
mean, a lot of people talk about that, but I don't regret how we started being very general and just trying all sorts of things because it like eventually had the clue to the future. And it was actually kind of a risk. It felt like a big risk to rebrand.
mhm.
And then we rebranded again because our logo looked dirty and we were a cleaning channel. It was, like, full of dirt, and that's kind of funny, and then I'm like, "Why did we do that?" So we didn't rebrand to Clean we rebranded to Clean Freak and Germaphobe, but we also, like, updated our logo and everything, which helped us do better and looked more clean and professional, and that made us feel more official too. So, yeah, that's what I would say is that that's very important to invest in your brand because that's what you've got over everyone else. There's a lot of, like, competition, like I said, you gotta have something to give that they're not getting from other people. Even if you do the same things, you're never gonna be the same because your personality, your perspective, your unique skills and everything that you bring to it, that's what makes it, different, and that's your brand and the way it looks and everything. And we could even do better at that, I think that would be the next evolution is, like, really, adding the brand elements in, and that's what we were trying to do, the phrases you say
Mhm,
and making those, like, deliberate and the kind of colors you use in your thumbnails and, the way you do your ends and, your style. We have a brand, but it could be tightened. So that's important to me
mhm.
too.
I think every YouTuber, there's always room for improvement, but I definitely agree with what you said about narrowing in your brand and your niche. You can't do everything on your channel. That's just not how, viewers watch YouTube. Like they go to a specific channel for a specific thing. And so I definitely agree with what you said about finding a niche and sticking to a brand. So thank you for that
And now
advice.
one more thing, in the beginning, I
Okay.
really relied on search engine traffic because YouTube's the number 2 search engine owned by the number 1 search
Hmm.
engine, so that was really important. How to phrase your titles and put those words in the descriptions and do the keyword research to figure out what people are searching for and using those terms because that brought us that was our number 1 referral source. In the beginning, we didn't have an audience, we built one through a search engine.
So most of your traffic was through like searching
And
on
that's my
Google and YouTube.
expertise, right? Is
Yeah,
search engine
that's
marketing.
awesome.
So yeah, I researched the words. Should I say Dawn Power Wash or Dawn Platinum Power Wash? I looked at different ways people term different things that we're talking about in the video, and I tried to use those terms. But the main terms and like putting clean and cleaning into titles and things so that like we teach YouTube that that's our niche, that's what we're talking about. I think I'm stronger in that area than suggestive videos. I have videos that have done really well in suggested too, and
Hmm.
that's actually better than search engine. But in the beginning, search engine was what we relied on, and that's what I would think. Look at the term, and even if you had just see the ones again that are really popular that you can kind of mirror a bit while you learn, that's helpful.
Yeah, that got me thinking, kind of a tangent, but do you use like, so when you upload a video, there's like the description and all these boxes you can check. Do you use like tags? Because I've heard some people say that like tags don't do anything. Do you use
Yeah, I
tags?
still do because I think we use like TubeBuddy, for example, will tell you which tags are like important. I don't do it. We don't
Hmm.
do it every time, and as you get bigger, I think it's less important. But in the beginning, I
Yeah.
maxed that out. Now it's not as much. It may be different variations of saying things and stuff, but I don't. It's not as important. That's what they've said, but I still think it has some influence. And so, yeah, in the beginning, I think sometimes we like took the text of the video and put it in the description, like the whole thing or a lot of it. I don't do
Oh
that
yeah.
now. I haven't done that for a long time, but I do. I still do it some.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, Janet, for being on the show. Really appreciate it. So your channel is Clean Freak and Germaphobe. Is there any other platforms or social medias that if our listeners wanted to follow you or your channel, uh, where they could go?
That's a funny question because most people would be like, "Oh yeah, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and stuff." But we do have a Facebook following. We actually had an agency that we were going to work with to manage our Facebook. It didn't work out. Um, we had all these problems with Facebook, so we kind of abandoned it. And we have a website, cleanfreakandgermaphobe.com. But we are so YouTube centric, and we that would be another thing is hiring people to do the others. And we had a spin-off channel that was just reviews that we had someone else manage for us for a while. But yeah, we didn't. I feel like the money in our besides Amazon influencers, which you wouldn't just find us because that's a little different, but you can follow us on that. I think it's in every description of any recent videos. But yeah, we
Mhm.
are just very YouTube centric. It's kind of funny. We don't have that many followers on other platforms, maybe a few hundred, even TikTok. We are there though, just not actively
Yeah.
there.
Gotcha. Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Janet, for being on the show. Really appreciate it. And thanks to all of our watchers and listeners for checking out this episode. And if you're interested in getting help with any content creation or video editing, make sure to check us out at creatorluxe.com.